That fear of failure that's preventing you from trying is a failure if you don't try at all. If you sit here and you think about all the things that could go wrong, all the things that will probably not happen, or just anything that could go wrong, and you think that and that prevents you from doing what you really want to do or desire or need to do, most importantly, and if you don't do it, it is a failure. It is not when you try and you put in effort, because that is not a failure. Even if you don't get to your desired point, or it's something that you really want or desire, whatever it is that you envisioned, and it doesn't come out the right way that you want it, that is not a failure. Just because you didn't get what you wanted doesn't mean it is a failure. It just means that you have to keep trying. And for you to have not done anything at all is a failure, and you ruin the what ifs. The what if I could have got this? What if I could have had this? Blah blah blah. You overrule it with the what if I failed? What if I did this wrong? What if I would have said this? Blah blah blah. And that stops everybody from doing a lot of things or saying the things that we want, because we have this neurological, like, factory setting in our head where we just think negatively all the time. I mean, we're programmed to think that, as human beings we are, but it stops you from doing it and living the life that you could be living right now. The life that you could be enjoying and be like, oh, I can't believe I waited so long to try this. I can't believe I waited and I was afraid of doing this, blah, blah, blah. You could be in this place where you could be where you desire, where you want to be. But no, you're stuck in this place where you don't do anything for yourself. All you do is say, "Oh, what if this? What if that?" Or "I'm afraid," or "No, I'll probably say this," or "I'll say this wrong," or "I'll do this wrong," blah blah blah. You're not doing anything. You are failing. That fear that you have of failing, you're already doing it. And a lot of people, like I was talking about earlier, people deem failure as not getting to the place where you want. Failure is when you don't put any effort at all. Failure is the things that you want, but they are still a thought in your head. One thing that I don't believe are in our goals, because, like, your and dreams. Dreams are just goals. They are things in your head, and things that they don't they're not real until you make them a reality. And so with goals, I don't really believe in that, because make that a reality. Do what you say you're going to do. Um, say and do all the things that you want to do. And once you do try and you get up out of this hole and you finally climb over this hump of being afraid or whatever's preventing you or holding you back in some sort of way, once you get over that hump, you realize a lot of the things that you were worrying about, first of all, didn't happen, will not happen, or were not half as bad as you thought, because as human beings, we also, when we do think about the negative things, we also, it's a way of preparing ourselves. So once you think about the worst things that could possibly happen, when they don't happen, or if something doesn't go your way, but it wasn't as bad as you were envisioning it, it's really not that bad at all. And it just ruins your perception of the things around you and of yourself, and your ability to make decisions based on what you want or what you need. And when you need something or you want to do something and you don't do it, that takes away the love and the trust that you have within yourself, because it proves to you that you can't show up for yourself. You don't have the will. You're not making good on those promises that you make to yourself. And I believe that you should treat it as you would treat a promise to anybody else. And that's why we do a lot of the things that we do for other people, because you don't want to let them down. It's the same thing with yourself. Why do you want to let yourself down? Sure, you're not going to get the backlash of another person and them feeling bad, but you're going to get it internally, and even in ways that you don't even realize, that you don't feel. But the more that you let yourself down and you stop staying in routine or doing things that you said you do or anything like that, when you don't do it, or you just slowly digress or just never start to begin with, but you keep saying it over and over again because you make yourself feel better. That's a way to make yourself feel better, is just claiming that you're going to do these things and say, "Oh, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, blah blah blah." You don't ever do it, and you think that you you feel good about it, but you really don't. And then you just set yourself up for failure, because you know deep down you're never going to do that. You're never going to start working out. You're never going to start eating healthier. You're never going to do the right things that you need to do in order to get where you want. And you know that. And not doing the things that you say you'll do, and even small things, it reaffirms that in your head subconsciously. You don't even realize it. You can even say, like, "Oh, I do the things that I say I'll do," but deep down you know that you don't. And You just do little things. It doesn't need to be big and grand things, but things that help you in the long run to stay consistent and keep that momentum going and whatever that you want in your life. It could be routines that you have for self care, or if you want a certain job, or you want to get a certain grade, or you're just working towards something in general and you don't do the little things that matter. It really hurts you and it just sets you up for failure. And stop saying that you're going to do something. You're going to get up and you're going to start working out. You're going to start eating healthier. I'm going to get 10K steps every day and I'm going to eat nothing but healthy things, blah 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. You're not going to do that, because have you ever cut out something in your diet to do that? Have you ever cut out somebody toxic in your life that you knew that was hurting you, but you continue to let them hurt you over and over again? Did you continue to live the miserably? Did you continue to stay comfortably instead of go out your comfort zone and do the things that would most likely help you? Just there's a whole bunch of examples that I can continue to talk about, but it applies to almost every aspect in your life. And like I said, you do little small things that will add up to your in your life. And like for example with skincare, little things when you skip out on a day, okay, that's not so bad. But once you stop washing your face, for example, if you get too lazy, you're like, oh, I don't want to do it, blah blah blah. You wake up with all these pimples. You don't feel good about yourself. You want clear skin. You want all these things, but you don't make the initiative to help yourself. Or with working out, you say, okay, well, I'm gonna work out this amount of times, like these amount of times per week, but you don't do it. You do it one time and you're like, oh, well, that's good enough. And you don't show up for yourself continuously. And you don't need to do the same routines every fucking day. Like with working out every week, if you want to work out 3 times per week, you don't have to do the same exact workout every day. If you have a certain routine, like you have a certain split that you have, and you don't follow it for one day, that's not a failure. You showed up for yourself, right? Like that's consistency. Even a little bit, like I've said before, if you take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, that's still taking a step forward. And that's like an example with working out is like you don't have to do the same exact workout split. You just have to get there. At least get to the gym or walk or do whatever routine that you have in your life in general and do a little bit. At least show up and start, even if it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes is better than not doing anything at all. And that's what a lot of people, that's what also prevents a lot of people from doing things in their life, because they believe that doing a little bit is a failure, or not performing to the best of their ability is a failure, or not getting the desired outcome, or if they've been doing something continuously for a long period of time that's been the same and then they show up a little less, they think like, okay, well, what's the point? I couldn't show up to my best ability. It's a failure. Like I might as well just stop trying, or I shouldn't do it at all. That's not right. That's wrong. And let me tell you, when I had this mindset shift and I started living this life, well, okay, I was consistent, right? I did a little bit of something today. I didn't not do it at all. I didn't completely neglect this thing, or I didn't just think about it or do it at all, because I end up going to bed and I'm like, oh, well, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. And I usually think in a way where what would my future self want done? What would my future self be happy that I did, or just helping me out? If I skip a workout one day, just say, and it's not because I'm sick, it's just I didn't do it, I didn't want to do it, or I claimed that I was tired, or I chose the thing, keyword, I chose not to make the time for doing whatever workout it was. Now I wake up and I don't feel as good. I know that I didn't complete it, or I didn't even start to begin with. And now I have to do it today on top of another workout if it wasn't my rest day. Like, okay, well, fucking great. Now I have to do all this extra stuff and I'm tired and blah blah blah. It's like you set yourself up for failure. What would my future self want done? Little example. Oh, I should do my laundry today, so tomorrow I have fucking clothes to wear. And if I skip out to do laundry, now there's more laundry and I don't got anything to really wear that I want to wear. And now I have to do it today. Like you end up having to do it regardless, and things just pile up and compound and over again, and that could be negative or that could be positive. And what I mean by that is when you neglect things, that compounds and it adds up together over time. But little wins that you have, like I was saying before, when you stay consistent and you do little things that add up, and even if you don't do the full workout, just say your goal is 10,000 steps, but you only got 5,000. You only got half. Hey, well that's still adding up to your goal. throughout the week. You don't have to be perfect 100% of the time. You don't need to get 10K and more every single day, but you got 5,000. Hey, you moved a little bit forward. It's better than if you would have not gotten any steps at all. It's just little things that add up in your life. I'm not just talking about working out. I'm just trying to come up with analogies and examples to further explain my point. Um, but that it just remember that failure isn't not completing it to the best of your ability or being able to perform or do what exactly what it is that you desire to get 100% and be perfect 100% of the time. That's not it, because we're human beings and we will fail. We will always not be able to have energy and wake up with so much energy and eat healthy 100% of the time or be in the right headspace or have the world go the way that we want to go to be able to do the things that we want to do. Things happen, whether there's a weather, experiences, trauma, just life happens and pushes you in certain directions that may be obstacles to get to where you want. But just because that they are obstacles doesn't mean that you can't climb over a little bit. You can't try your best to get over these humps in which that you face every day. And when you do these little things, when you realize, okay, well, I showed up for myself. Hey, like I'm glad that I did this. I did a little bit. You begin to feel like, okay, well, now you do stop treating things like obligations, because when you do feel like you need to show up 100% perfect all the time, you're bound to fail. That's just the truth of it. If you think that you're going to be perfect 100% of the time, you're going to fail. I mean, that's just the truth. And so when you have this mindset, well, okay, I did a little bit today, then you continue to stay consistent. And there are ways to stay consistent in things that you may not be. And this is why a lot of people fail, is because, like I said, people believe that they need to be perfect all the time. And so when they do that, they begin to lose sight of their goals, and they begin to lose sight of why it is that they're doing whatever they're doing or why they want something. And they start treating it like an obligation and a chore because they've been doing it for so long continuously. And it just becomes so routinely where they just forget, like, why. They forget the why. But they keep taking the actions, and it's like you're just walking on a path to nowhere. It's how it feels, because you lose sight of that end goal. You lose sight of where you're going to end up, your final destination. So when you forget that, you start to treat things like a chore and an obligation. And then you're like, okay, well, if I don't do this exact way, blah, 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 I'm going to fail. It's not going to be the way that I want. Blah, blah, blah. Just a whole bunch of negative mindsets and views. And once you start treating it like that, you're less likely to stay consistent or enjoy what it is that you're doing. And it's not that you have to, it's that you get to do whatever it is. Even if it sucks, you get to do that. You get to work out. You get to have a healthy body. You get two eyes and a vision. You get a heart that's beating. You get lungs that fill up with air. You get to wake up every day. You get to move. You have an able body. Whatever it is that you have that you sometimes take for granted and you waste time or blah blah blah. Remember that it is a blessing in a way that you get to do something and you get to choose. You choose to do it and use it to the best of your ability, and stop treating things like an obligation or that you have to do it or that you have to be perfect 100% of the time. Showing up and little wins matter, and they propel you forward and create that momentum that further builds that discipline and that consistent that everybody fucking raves about. Um, it's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. Remember that. Um, but stop focusing on the negative and stop thinking about, what if I fail? What if I don't do this? What if I can't? It's what if I can? What if I do say the right things? What if I'm not fucking awkward? What if I am able to show up? What if I am going to be successful? What if people do not judge me? What if people think that I'm beautiful rather than I'm ugly? What if people think that I'm smart or I'm intelligent? I have something to add rather than something that I may not have to give. What if people think that I'm not fucking stupid? What if people think that I'm not trying to not embarrassing myself? Whatever negative notion that you have in your head, try to think about the positives. Try to think about the opposite of whatever negative it is that you are thinking about. Like I've talked about before, when you walk around insecure and you think that everybody's judging you or looking at you in a negative regard, if they think that your outfit is ugly or they think that you look a certain way, like you have a certain fault about yourself, think the opposite of that. What if people think that you're beautiful, you smell nice, you look good, your hair looks good, there's something about you that they like? Think about that. And instead of being so afraid of the way that others perceive you, stop trying to control the way that others perceive you, because then you're further acting misaligned with who you really are, because you're living for everybody else, because you want people to accept you. You want to feel good by other people's validation. And we as human beings, we do that. And but sometimes it's harder for other people, and it's more prominent in other people due to other internal and external factors and other experiences and trauma in their life. And I get that, but you just have to acknowledge it and realize, okay, this is the way that I think, and this negative mindset is not helping me. It is not protecting you. It's further pushing you back from where you desire, where you want, where you need to be. Things that will make you happy, that you know will make you happy. But this comfortability that you sit in, this what if I can't? What if I don't? Um, what if I sound stupid? What if I end up making a fool out of myself? What if people judge me? What if I look a certain way? Shut the fuck up and just do it. Do whatever it is that you want to do, because you, a failure is not trying, like I've been repeating over and over again. And it's sad, because you want to live with that regret, like, oh, I wish I could have done this, instead of, well, I did try. I didn't get to where I wanted to. I'd rather regret trying than to never do anything at all. To regret trying and putting my effort towards something, and who cares if I make a fool out of myself? I tried, right? And I'd rather regret doing that than to regret not trying at all. And then I would feel worse about myself. And I have done a lot of things where, well, I haven't done a lot of things where I do regret, because I could have started things a lot earlier, or I could have been happier. I just could have had things in the past that I would be living in a different way right now. But I'm not going to linger on those thoughts. I'm not going to linger in those regrets, because I am supposed to be where I am wherever I am right now in the present. And knowing that, okay, well, I wish I could have done this. Okay, start now then. If you didn't do it before, and a lot of things prevented you from doing or saying things that you wanted to do, and anything like that, if you think about it now, okay, well, start right now. Because if you don't start now, you're most likely never going to start, and you're going to end up living with this regret and this cycle of really not necessarily hating yourself. But some people, yeah, you do hate yourself. You know that you can't show up, and you can't make good on these promises that you make to yourself. You don't love yourself enough to try. And that is one of the worst feelings in the world, to know that you can't even trust yourself. You can't trust the people around you. You can't trust yourself, the person who you are with 24/7, the person who you have to be in your mind all the time. You always have to think your thoughts, feel your emotions. You have to be with you 100% of the time. So why would you want to live it hating yourself too? If you hate the world, you hate other people, you hate yourself too. What do you have in this life? What do you have? Anything? You don't have anything at all. That's what I mean. So just help yourself, because like I said, you only got you. And why would you waste it on time for other people, or waste it on time not trying or not doing it what it is that you could be doing, and making good whatever subjective view that you have that would be making good on your time? Do it. Just do it. Get up and try. You don't have to do the full 10 miles. Just start off with 1 mile. You don't have to run, you walk, you freaking crawl. I don't know. Like, whatever it is that you want and you desire, you can get to it. Just start off small and realize, okay, I don't need to be perfect. I'm human. We make mistakes, but I will get through and over these humps. I will go through these adversities and push through and show up for myself. And even in little ways, small wins matter. You don't have to do these big things, and don't listen to other people in society and be like, okay, well, you gotta stay disciplined. You gotta do this, blah, blah, blah. You gotta get 30,000 steps. You gotta fucking eat boiled chicken and broccoli and lettuce. Shut the goodbye. I'm sorry. Like, no, I'm not sorry. Shut the fuck up. Get the hell out with your goofy ass. You live miserably. Don't listen to these other people who make it seem like to get a certain way or to look a certain way is miserable. You don't have to have this miserable path, this miserable road in order to get to the destination in which you desire. You don't need to. Just start off small, build that momentum, and it further builds that foundation of discipline. You will get where you want. You will get where you desire. Just start. Just do it. Stop living in that fear of the what ifs, the what if I can't, the negative um things that could happen in your life. Think about the opposite. Do the opposite. Live the opposite. And the more that you believe that you can do something, the more it will happen. The more that you will be able to perform to your best ability. If you have that belief in your mind, like, okay, for example, if you're gonna win something, if you're racing, or just an example, if you're in a race and you already have this confidence, you're like, okay, I'm gonna win. You know that you're gonna win, you win. Or if you don't win, you still don't feel so defeated because you had that confidence that pushed you forward, and you didn't stop and you didn't slow down. You didn't stop and say, like, okay, well, I'm already losing. I'm going to lose. So I might as well just not even try, or I might as well just not speed up and start slowing down because everybody else is going to pass me and I'm going to be slow. Start thinking like you're going to go fast. You're going to be number one. You're going to win. And even if you don't win, you had that mindset. You didn't stop uh, just failing yourself. You didn't stop that. You did try to make good on those promises to yourself. Effort means more than completing it sometimes. To know that, okay, well, even if I did fail or I didn't get to where I wanted, at least I tried. At least I took that first step. And though, because you took that first step, that fear that you had before you took that step, it's slowly becoming undermined. It's slowly going away because you took that first step and you're like, okay, I got over this hump. It really wasn't as scary as I thought it was. Even though I didn't get to this desired outcome, I took this step and now I'm one step closer to getting where I want to be. And that fear slowly dissipates and it goes away because you the more that you do something and the more that you try and the more humps that you get over, you realize, okay, well, this isn't really that hard. It's like climbing a mountain. You get up and it's so hard. You're stepping over all these things and you're huffing and puffing. And once you get to the top, you realize, okay, well, now it's easier. I can come down. It really wasn't that hard. I got to this mountain, got to this peak. Now I can start going down and it's a lot easier. So just remember that consistency matters more than fucking discipline. Okay? You don't need to be perfect 100% of the time, and stop keeping your dreams in your head because your dreams are just goals, and goals are not reality until you make them a reality, until you put action into what you're saying. Do the things that you say you'll do or that you really want and desire, that you know that you want so much. Try it and live for you and stop living for everybody else. Okay? That's all I can say. So, I hope that you took something from this video. I helped you in some sort of way. Yeah, thank you for watching.